You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now. Aloha.
All right.
Good morning. Cheerios. Happy
morning.
Saturday.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. To all our thousands and thousands of viewers, thank you for joining us.
What, we got two live
We got
viewers
two
right
live,
now?
sadly. Well, it's a long week. Whoa, it went down to one. We scared them.
This is like the biggest week in Monero ever. And we have one viewer. What is up?
I know. I don't
Why?
know.
Maybe because we just did our show.
No, but that was Monday.
I guess
It's
we
Saturday.
threw everybody off. They thought that was the show for the week. I'm
No.
trying to make it. I'm coping.
Yeah, I know.
I sound like a Bitcoiner right now. I'm coping. Should I retweet or something?
Yeah, retweet. See what's going on.
Come on.
I know.
Get
just
some people
two.
on.
So sad.
We have some people in the waiting room too that are going to come up today.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to retweet here. Whoops, wait, hold on.
Someone wrote, Harold Cruz. Am I all by
on.
my lonesome? Yes, you are.
You're
Actually, no, you have
live.
another person that just signed on. How's the sound, guys? I'm assuming it's fine, as usual.
All right, we got people slow. Is there something we did different here? Why is
I don't know.
You posted it yesterday, right?
Yeah, I posted it yesterday. It's all the same.
Saturday morning.
Well, it's Saturday morning, and maybe it's a long weekend. People might be away. I mean, I guess in the States, it is President's Day. I'm making excuses too. Oh, we went up to 4.
Okay, we're at 4. Well, whatever. People have to watch it pre-recorded instead of coming on live. So what do we got? Let's jump into it. People catch up later.
All righty. So what do you want to talk about? So many things to talk about.
Well, I guess let's talk about the event first of all. Let's quickly run through. So the event is really heating up.
It is.
It's really heating up. If you open it up, share the screen.
Doing it right now. Chrome tab right here.
Where is everybody? Guys, go ahead, tweet it out. Get some people in here. Let's get some people in here. This is a big week for Monero right now, with regards to what's going on in the world. So we have Martha Bueno. She's going to be giving a Why Liberty Matters talk. Check her out on Twitter, guys. She's doing a lot of big things. She's awesome. We met her in Miami.
Yeah, very, very awesome.
She's not like a Monero diet. She's just learning about Monero, but she has all the personality traits and personal beliefs that would turn somebody into kind of a Monero maxi. So she's kind of on her way. She's learning about it, and she's very excited about it. She wants to bring Monero to Cuba. She's really into helping out people in Cuba and bringing them liberty and providing them with technologies wherein they could achieve or find liberty. So she's into Monero. She wants to kind of get them mining Monero. She has a bunch of ideas. So she's going to be giving the Why Liberty Matters talk, and I think we're going to be impressed by it. And that's going to be the first talk of the day. And then we have Why Privacy Matters with Rachel Rose. She's a DarkFi developer. She's super cool. If you Google her, there's some really good podcasts that she's done. She talks about these things in a very eloquent way. So very excited to have her. She works with Amir Taki on DarkFi. So that's super cool that she's coming out. Why Monero Matters. We have Kevin Wad is going to be giving like the amped up Monero Maxi talk. So these are all the morning talks to get everybody warmed up I don't know what time we're starting yet. I think we might have to start at
It might be at 5 a.m., guys.
Get ready to wake up sunrise to midnight, because we got a lot of people on board. Then the Monero project, we have, so everybody's going to be talking, just like, the devs that are going to be talking about the inner workings of Monero itself. Francisco, Lee, Jethro, Aaron. We got Ko. I'm so excited that we got Ko. Okay, guys, if you don't know who Ko is, you don't know Monero.
You don't know what life is.
Do some Googling. Watch the Monero Talk episode I had with him. He is the brains behind a lot of the recent development in Monero, particularly Seraphis. Check that out. So he's gonna be down there in person. So knock on wood that all works out. Aaron, otherwise known as Sarang, I think he's going to have to be virtual. Obviously, Sarang also a legend in the Monero space. Is going to be in person, so really excited. We'll have him down there. We'll have the Q&A. You guys could ask questions. But basically, the Monero project speakers is I want the kind of the overall theme is covering all the kind of fundamental aspects of Monero that make it digital cash. So the decentralization of the nodes and the network. Lee's going to be talking about that. Jethro, I think, is going to be talking about kind of like decentralization of the mining network itself, things like RandomX. Aaron, I'm trying to get him to talk about the auditability of Monero. That's always a big topic that people are concerned about, right? So if Monero truly is digital cash, we're going to want to know that, that you can't double spend it, that you can't print Monero out of nowhere. And that's always kind of FUD that's spread around. So Aaron's going to break that down for us, give, kind of explain perhaps in a way that hasn't really been touched upon as to why Monero is the supply is auditable. Francisco is going to be talking about the he's going to be talking about the scalability of Monero. So obviously that's another issue that's talked about, that Monero can't scale. Well, actually, anybody that listens to this show, Monero theoretically can scale better than many other cryptos on chain. And then Ko is going to kind of talk about the privacy aspects of Monero, Seraphis, the tech that makes Monero private. And then we have other speakers too. I mean, Jay Bierman, he's not completely confirmed, but he's going to be talking about the privacy aspects of Monero as well. So that's going to be cool. We're going to cover like all the tech behind Monero. Creating a Monero circular economy. We'll have Monero Uju wallet there, and maybe one other talking. Maybe who we're saying we're gonna get? We're gonna get coin cards, right?
Coin cards.
Opting out with Monero. Privacy tool, Seth Privacy, and Henry. Monero layer 2. So far we only have Elizabeth, and she's talking about XMR to ETH atomic swaps, but we got a few other potential speakers there, people that will talk about layer 2 on Monero itself, and other BTC to XMR atomic swaps, and then other protocols that are integrating with Monero. So those people aren't all up there yet, but we'll have a few there. Nam talking about Monero as an investment, super cool. And then we're gonna have a panel, regulation and policy panel. Leah, she confirmed, which is awesome. She was previously with Elliptic. So she'll be on the panel. I'm really excited about this panel, and I think we're going to get somebody from Coin Center as well.
Let's cross our fingers.
So this is obviously a tremendous topic. People are always talking about this, right? Like, will Monero be banned? Will it be overregulated? Is it going to be basically our government's going to make it where you can no longer use Monero? So we're going to talk about the policy behind the potential regulations that might affect Monero in the future. And then Rolf is kind of maybe give the perspective of, well, is it all for naught? Is something like Monero inevitable, as he talks about the adoption that we're seeing in places like the dark markets, and whether or not governments could even stop or regulate Monero if they wanted to. So that should be a really interesting panel. And then after dark speakers, we have one.
We have one. Woo!
Anybody else that wants to join, you can apply to be one. You have to put down a 2 XMR down payment. The whole idea with the dark speakers is we want anybody to be able to basically apply to speak without us censoring or blocking who they are. So that's pretty cool that we actually have that. Chris Sky, I don't know if maybe he's AP. Actually, we already know who AP is, so that's not Chris Sky, guys. Then we have live performances, Crypto Bear, and we're lining up another one.
Yeah, which we can't announce just yet.
And then the vendors. Super excited about the vendors. Anybody wants to be a vendor, reach out. People are asking if we charge. We're not charging for the vendor spaces. Maybe, next year's Monerotopia we will, but this year it's all about keeping prices super low, making everything as accessible as possible so we can make it a good event. So if you have any ideas for something that you may want to come to the conference and sell, hit us up. So that should be super cool. I'm particularly excited about Spore Baby.
If you didn't yet catch that Monerotopia episode where he was on, check it out. It was a good one.
Selling magic mushroom spores. So that's I think a loophole there. And then we have a local from Miami that's going to be selling CBD products. Plus, who knows? Potentially, I don't know. We'll
stop spreading rumors.
But all for Monero, guys. All for Monero. And Mike Custom Tech will be there selling miners. So yeah, if you want to vend or pass the word on to somebody else that you think might be interested, especially people that are local to Miami that want to come out, they have to obviously be willing to sell their stuff for Monero. Tell them to hit us up. And yeah, that's basically it. Then obviously we have our sponsors. Oh, we have our media partners too.
Media partners.
Yeah.
We have Tech Glore, Opt Out, and Mark Falzone, right? No, Mark Falzone. Yeah,
we just did a great show with
interview with him last week, I want to say, which is a really good one. So check it out. So yeah, we're excited about that.
So guys, it's all coming together. I feel like
our sponsors. Thank you to Cake Wallet. Thank you to Coin Cards, and thank you to IVPN.
We keep repeating ourselves here.
I know,
but the conference just keeps growing. It's kind of gotten too big. We have too many people.
Yeah, we have too many people
now reaching out that want to speak. But I don't think we're going to be able to fit them. But still reach out to us, guys.
Please reach out to us, and we'll try to see if we can fit you in. And if you haven't booked your hotel, if you bought a ticket and you haven't booked a hotel yet, we have links of hotels that you can stay at in the descriptions. So check those out. And yeah. Other than that, the biggest thing is
packing the house with people.
Yeah. So please spread the word, retweet. Just try to spread the word about the conference because we're really excited about it. There's a lot of people, meaning a lot of speakers lined up. So we're really excited about that. And
the way it's going to go down is, speakers all day long, but you don't have
all day long.
You don't have to stay in the room all day. The vendors are going to be outside in the hallway area, and then there's an actual outside area where we'll have people, bars out there. So you could come hang out all day, listen to some of the talks, but then also just come out and hang out with the Monero.
Yeah, it's not going to it's not going to be like it is going to be a conference, but it's going to be a very chill, relaxed vibe and lots of windows. Like you're not going to feel like you're cooped up in like a venue. So it's a really nice venue. We're really excited about that because it kind of just you have all the windows, you have the outdoor areas, and
we'll have bars inside, outside, everything obviously for
so it's going to be all day, but you won't feel like it's all day. Sure, we may need you to come at 5 a.m. because of the speaker lineup, but it's going to be a fun day. So
all right. Oh, look, we actually have some listeners now. All right, good.
Wow, we have 10. Woo-hoo.
So moving on. Let's go.
Let's move on to our price report. We have a special price report with Mr. W. So we're excited about that. And with that, the Monerotopia price report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer. Hello, Mr. W.
What's up, guys?
What's
How's
going
it
on,
going?
man?
Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I forgot the last time that he was on.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be back. And I think it's a good time to talk about some charts.
Yeah, people are worried. Most people in Monero, I don't think really are. One Monero is always one Monero, but let's hear what you got.
All right, let's do it here. Let's get the screen share going. Okay. Oh, right here.
Is it working?
Y'all see it?
No, we do not.
Oh, look, people are saying the YouTube notification didn't come up for me. So
That's weird. Yeah.
We're getting blocked.
Uh-oh.
Shadow banned. No wonder we don't have 1 million viewers.
I know.
We're obviously getting shadow banned. We should be much more popular.
Yeah, I think so too. Like I keep looking at the numbers. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
All right. Looks like I gotta go into my system preferences here.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And there's an option to share the screen. I guess it's not popping up.
It's popping up, but it's on a Mac. It's saying I have to allow screen recording.
Oh, okay. Go. Accept the changes. Pretty cool.
Screen recording.
All righty. So, is it working?
There we go. Okay.
Is it working? It still hasn't popped up.
Nah, I'm still having a. Oh no.
What's the issue?
So it's a Mac setting, and I have to restart Google Chrome. If y'all want to go to another guest, then
yeah, we can move on to our guest segment. Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll be right back. All right, thanks, guys.
That was good. No problem. All right, so we'll move on to our guest. Woohoo! The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey,
good. How's it going?
Pretty awesome. Thankful you guys had me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Really
glad we were able to hook up. We were trying to get in touch with you a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. My communication isn't the best,
but we still got you on.
So you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Zaptosis, and I'm one of the people who helped the truckers adopt Monero. I went to the protests, and I made a PDF guide that I was handing out there, trying to talk to as many people as possible about not just Monero, but also using Signal and other privacy measures you could use to kind of combat surveillance. So that's kind of what I did recently.
When were you out there?
Recently? I think I left either the 7th or the 9th. It was a Tuesday and then till the Thursday, so it wasn't a long time.
Mm-hmm. And so what was the scene like? I mean, in terms of crypto and talking to people about Monero, were they understanding it? Did they see the value in it?
Yeah, at first the people I was talking to had no clue what Monero was and didn't even care. It just seemed like they were just passively listening to me like I was an annoyance, and it was kind of discouraging at first. But as I went on, I actually started to find more Monero bros there who were into crypto and were interested in the privacy. Some people in the media. One person told me I inspired him to invest in Monero, which was pretty nice. And then I started talking to the organizers. So just they had a main stage, and I was talking to them, and they asked if I wanted to speak on stage and give the presentation to the protesters. So I ended up doing that.
That's amazing. How many people were there, would you say?
It was during the middle of the week. I think that was on the Wednesday. So the second day I was there. And it was like maybe 100, 200 people, not a huge crowd, but most of them were live streaming. So probably if you count the people viewing the streams, hopefully thousands.
Very cool, man. And so when you were out there, I guess that was before, we had the Canadian government really cracking down.
Yeah.
And passing the emergency order, right, where they basically said they were going to censor people, track people's bank accounts, and they have the list of crypto wallets that are basically blacklist or sanctioned.
Yeah.
So I guess it was before really kind of shit hit the fan in terms of realizing what governments are capable of doing, right? Was the GoFundMe already taken down at that point? I don't
Yeah, at that point, the GoFundMe was taken down, and I was trying to use that to market Monero, saying they can shut down these financial institutions. You got to use something decentralized.
So was that like an aha moment for them, where they're like, "Oh, okay," or not?
I feel like a lot of the people just dismissed Monero. I'm always in Gab arguing with people about it, and they think it's a government plot, that it's the Monero's the CBDC controlled token that they're implementing. So it seems a lot of people just aren't in the know about it.
They think they think Monero is the CBDC token.
Yeah. So if you go on my Gab profile and read some of my comments, just replying to other people, you would be amazed by what most of the protesters think.
Oh, wow.
Where are they getting this information?
I've got no. Some people, they've told me Monero's the mark of the beast because you have the QR codes. That's some of the stuff I've heard.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Where do you think like that is coming from, or like what's the purpose of those rumors?
I don't want to be like ageist, but I feel like a lot of people just don't understand the technology behind it because they haven't grown up with it, or they haven't been exposed in their lives. So they see QR codes and vaccines and they think, oh, cryptocurrency is a QR code. It's a problem, right? It's just increasing awareness about it.
Now, I could see the concern with Bitcoin, but they're just not distinguishing the two. They're not.
Yeah, I think it's they just don't know about it, because I've had them say they can shut down Bitcoin, which is obviously false, right? Unless they were to do control more than 51% of the mining power. But people just aren't educated about this. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, they all think these are controlled by the government and they can seize your Bitcoin.
Yes, it's just an education problem. We got to get the information out there.
Mm-hmm.
Any ideas on how we do that?
I think just explaining it to people. It's a kind of hard not to make fun of them, especially when they're saying, like, when they're being rude to you back, and you wanna be rude to them. But it's like, I try to purposely be kind and explain in a way that's helpful. So, but I can't do that all the time. It's tough.
Tough, I'm sure.
It's so ironic because these are the people that would benefit the most from adopting something like Monero right now, in terms of being able to transact without censorship. And there's a whole subset of them that are completely reluctant to do it, and they have no trust in it.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge that we'll have to overcome. What I want to do is go to local businesses and say, hey, the truckers are accepting Monero. Would you want to have this sign here, that you accept Monero, and just show them Cake Wallet. You can set it up in 60 seconds. My goal is trying to make it easily accessible for people. So I just made a mining tutorial yesterday on how you can get started with mining, and I want to make it a short tutorial where I explain things on a beginner level. And I want to try and make it the on-ramps to Monero as easy as possible, because I know most people don't care about privacy. They just want something that works easily.
Yeah. But so things are different out there right now, right? Didn't they I haven't been following it super closely, but haven't they kind of broken up the protests at this point?
Yeah, so I've been watching it just on social media. I don't have any like contacts there who are informing me into insider stuff, but yeah, they're breaking it up. Police are going and arresting people. An elderly woman was actually trampled by horses the other day. So people are saying she's dead. I don't know if that's been confirmed, but if so, that was pretty bad.
Whoa.
So what is your feel? I mean, since you're boots on the ground, obviously, they could break up this protest, but do you feel like, the movement is gonna die, or it has momentum and it'll just kind of blossom in different ways?
I don't think it'll die. I think it'll decentralize, right? There'll be local people who support the truckers, support freedom, and try and fight back in their own ways. I know there's been people talking about tax protests, So that's encouraging to see. Obviously, pay your taxes, but I think the way people are going to combat this is going to go to kind of peaceful means of resistance outside of protesting.
And do you think it's going to be an eye-opener in terms of understanding crypto, and in particular Monero, starting to understand the differences between something that's completely traceable like Bitcoin and something like Monero? Or is it
it has the opportunity to be an eye opener, but we need to take advantage of it. It's not gonna just happen where people just wake up and realize, oh, Monero is great. We have to be active, promoting it, showing the benefits, and getting people adopted. If we don't do that, it's not gonna happen.
Awesome, man. I love that you were out there doing it. I wish I could have been there. I wanted to come up, but I was actually looking into it because the drive isn't that far, but obviously it would have been very difficult for me to, get across the border. I guess I probably wouldn't. I mean, I'm not vaxxed, so
it was fun. It was peaceful. It was a party pretty much. It was music 24/7. They were giving out free food to anyone homeless. It was on a donation basis. There were some antagonizers who came in, trying to rattle people up. They had counter protesting signs, and you could see they had a camera, in their jacket. But everyone was being peaceful. People came around them, and they said they're trying to say love, only love here. She had a sign saying the protesters were anti-Semitic, and a Jewish man said, he came up to her and said, "I've seen nothing but love here, and I'm Jewish myself." And it was amazing. So they're even showing love to the people trying to slander them.
It's so sad that they're being casted as this right. I mean, it was obviously propaganda, to go out there.
Definitely.
But it's
so
evil, evil to do that, right? And you have these people like struggling to express the truth out there, and you just have these entities that are trying to twist it into something else and to use propaganda to change the narrative. I mean, it's disgusting to watch that happen.
It's
I do feel like we, because of social media and technology, we are able to get the truth out more than ever, though. Do you think? Or
100%. Back in the day, it's just mainstream news now. It's decentralized. What's it called? Independent creators are the new mainstream.
So you have your own YouTube channel, right?
I do.
Well, what is it?
It's Zaptosis, so the same name, and I mostly do videos on hacking in video games. So I'm the scum of the internet.
And you really don't talk much about Monero and crypto on there?
I talk about it. So I'll do giveaways to viewers, and I give away a paid cheat client, and every time I do the giveaway, I pay in Monero because they actually give a discount for crypto payments. And I'll always tell my viewers, if you didn't win the giveaway, I have a tutorial on how you can get this for free by using your computer to mine cryptocurrencies and then paying for it like that. So I'm trying to educate people on crypto, trying to show them they can get something tangible out of crypto that they wouldn't otherwise have access to, and trying to give a purpose for why they should start using it.
Awesome, man. I feel like we should run through the news real quick because a lot of the things we're talking about were in the news, obviously. Zaptosis, can you hang with us, and then we'll
definitely
combo, and then we'll get more people back up on stage?
Yeah, sounds good. All right,
let's do that.
The Monerotopia weekly news segment is sponsored by iVPN. Use a VPN to help prevent your online activity from becoming a permanent record. iVPN encrypts your data and DNS requests so your ISP or mobile network provider cannot monitor or log your online activity. Purchase an iVPN service today anonymously with Monero.
All right. Let's fly through this a little bit. Oh, you want to play this?
Sure.
I think it's appropriate to play.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information. And the actual follow-up is, I'm just wondering whether the bank accounts will be targeted of individuals who donated to the Give, Send, Go and the GoFundMe campaigns. Are they considered designated people under the Emergencies Act, meaning that their credit cards could be cut and financial services are targeting them as well?
Okay, so The names of both individuals and entities, as well as crypto wallets, have been shared by the RCMP with financial institutions, and accounts have been frozen, and more accounts will be frozen. Crowdfunding platforms and payment service providers have started the registration process with FinTrack. In terms of the specifics on whose accounts are being frozen, you now have the regulations. The financial service providers have those regulations as well, and they, working with law enforcement, will be making the operational decisions.
Crazy. We now scroll up for a sec. So, and then Jesse Powell, who's of Kraken, he then tweeted, due processes for plebes, might makes right in Canada. If someone dissents, you just confiscate their wealth, revoke their licenses, exclude them from the financial system, and kill their pets. No need to debate the law, policy, or even rights when you have a monopoly on violence. So awesome to see Jesse coming out and saying this, seeing that, you know, he runs an exchange. Most of the guys that are in this business, that are running these exchanges, actually don't really have these ideals. They've kind of sold out. But Jesse is always been a true kind of crypto anarchist in this space, and it's really encouraging to see him step up in this moment. And then he went ahead and said, in a response to somebody saying, basically, you know, what will happen if Kraken has to freeze their assets? He's like, 100% yes, it will happen. 100% yes, we will be forced to comply. If you're worried about it, don't keep your funds with any centralized regulated custodian. We cannot protect you. Get your coins cash out and only trade P2P. So super awesome to see Jesse Powell, who runs an exchange, having the guts to tell, you know, and the heart to tell people the true way to use crypto is to just take it off an exchange, which obviously hurts his bottom line. He runs a business that benefits from the fact that people would use centralized exchanges, but he's out there telling people the truth and saying, get your crypto off exchanges, because if if the government knocks on his door and it forces him to, you know, lock up somebody's wallet or whatever it is, ask for information about some individual, he's going to have to comply. He's going to have to do it if he wants to continue to run his business. So all he can do is tell you the safest thing to do is take your crypto off of exchanges and use it peer-to-peer. It's no coincidence that Kraken is also the largest exchange in the US where you could buy Monero directly with your bank account. And you know, it makes sense as to why, because it's run by this guy. So hopefully that's going to last, and hopefully other exchanges will begin to add crypto. I would like to start to see the meme becoming, not only should you take your crypto off of exchanges, but you should transfer it into Monero first and then remove it from an exchange in the form of Monero. I mean, that's literally the best way to off-ramp. So, you know, maybe you did well on the exchanges, you made some money, transfer it into Monero, and then move your Monero off the exchange. So you move into it's like taking cash out of the bank, and thereafter you're good to go. Maybe you want to then go back into other cryptos, sure, but then you could do that in a more decentralized way using other methods. But the advice that should be given is, if you have the opportunity to, the best way to go off of a centralized exchange into the decentralized world is via Monero. So there is no trail behind you. Next story. EU wants to completely ban anonymous payments with crypto assets. I won't completely go through this article, but it's just more news. A new draft of the regulation of crypto assets in the EU is currently causing unrest in Brussels. The new draft says that there should be an identification requirement for crypto asset transactions in all amounts. So it's just more news of governments moving towards regulating and potentially banning something like Monero, because they're going to have a hard time connecting identities to Monero and tracking and tracing it. And you know, this is where we're currently at, guys. It's a war of sorts. We knew this was going to happen, and that's why we're in Monero land. That's why we've opted out of fiat land. That's why we've opted out of Bitcoin land, because we knew this is where things were headed. And so it's you know, them versus us here, and we need to use the best tool for the job, and that's Monero. And things are probably only going to get worse in terms of governments trying to clamp down and track and trace cryptos and control them. And that's why we need to move to Monero as quickly as possible and spread the word. Next story, if you put this tweet out. So the U.S. government, if you want to click on that link, the FBI to form national cryptocurrency unit focusing on the seizure of virtual assets like Bitcoin. So, Jim, once again, just another step in this direction. It's not theoretical anymore, guys. So the governments around the world, U.S. government being the largest and most powerful one, are taking steps to basically have a greater ability to control crypto. They want to be able to, you know, more easily track and trace and have the means of doing that, and potentially seize your crypto. And so we're seeing that the FBI is forming this special unit that's going to focus on the seizure of virtual assets like Bitcoin. Obviously, it's going to be more difficult for them to seize something like Monero versus Bitcoin, because it's going to be harder for them to determine whether or not you even have that Monero or whether or not you still have that Monero, which if you scroll up or go back, Sunita, which was what my tweet was alluding to, there are no boating accidents in Bitcoin. It's a meme that you see get spread around by Bitcoiners, and it's just hard to watch because it just shows an utter lack of understanding of what Bitcoin is. Or, I don't know, people lying to themselves. But to call Bitcoin unconfiscatable when it's literally a ledger that tracks and traces all transactions, how did you lose your Bitcoin in a boating accident when we saw your Bitcoin move on the ledger? So it's all coming to fruition, guys. And I don't know, we're out here every day telling people about it. The Bitcoiners are out there, a lot of them in denial, but we are seeing a lot of people starting to turn around. We are starting to finally see even some hardcore Bitcoiners starting to say, well, you know, maybe you should be using Monero for certain things if you want to transact privately. So the tides are starting to turn, but it's up to us to continue to get the information out there. You want to go next door?
Yeah. Let's maybe speed it up because I think Mr. W has to head out.
Okay, we'll speed it up.
Yeah.
Which coin dominates the darknet market space? It's not Monero. I thought this was an interesting title to the story. If you then scroll down, it talks about how Monero's usage on the dark markets has significantly grown. But the end story is Bitcoin is still the most used. We know why. It's because of network effect. But it's interesting, the title. It's like, come on, like they won't even give credit where credit's due. Monero is overtaking.
That hurt you.
Is overtaking Bitcoin for the use case of private digital cash, particularly on dark markets where it matters most. So I thought that was just an interesting way of phrasing things. Monero community concerned as leading mining pool nears 51% of ecosystem's total hash rate. This happened last week. A lot of people are getting concerned. Everything is fine now. The word got out. People switched to different pools. I think most important thing to realize is, Monero has P2 pool, right? And we just need to start to see people use that more. That is the solution. We don't have to worry about these, 51% attacks if everybody starts using pools like P2 pool, where there's no concern of them getting more than 50% of the network, because they won't also then get the ability to essentially vote with that hashing power. So there was a lot of FUD out there. People were concerned there was some kind of like 51% attack happening. Guys, the tech is there. Everything's in place for Monero to avoid these types of things in the future. We as a community just need to start using the proper tools. So use P2 pool. Don't use these other major pools that then become a point of centralization. Last story of the day. I thought this was great. Tone Vase this morning. I think it was this morning or last night. If you want to play clip from
Tone, if you go into cash rather than Bitcoin, what does that mean about Bitcoin if USD has more value than Bitcoin? It means that Bitcoin is currently overpriced. That's all that it means, right? It doesn't take away Bitcoin's properties like unconfiscatability. Guys, you are responsible for your own decisions across the board, okay? This is specifically for traders looking to trade Bitcoin versus cash. Now, if you are Canadian, obviously trading is probably not the most important thing in your life right now. If you potentially donated 50 cents to the Freedom Convoy, you might be arrested. So you have slightly bigger priorities in your life if you are a Canadian citizen, or potentially a US citizen who donated 50 cents to the Freedom Convoy. You may have a mob with pitchforks at your door. So you may want to stay in Bitcoin, as it's the only unconfiscatable asset in human history. So everyone has to make their own decisions, whether they're trading decisions, savings decisions, investing decisions.
I mean, that is just so Tone Vase is saying, all right, guys, price is crashing, but don't worry. It's not about the price. It's about the tech. It's about the fact that Bitcoin works. It's unconfiscatable. But at the same time, he's saying, oh my God, there's just so much wrong with what he's saying there, right? He's saying, don't worry about the price because it still works. It's unconfiscatable. While he's saying, if you're in Canada, you might be worried because you donated 50 cents. But it's great that you hold Bitcoin, because when the government knocks on your door, because they know who they are and they're going to try to take it away from you, they can't, because it's so unconfiscatable. It's the most unconfiscatable asset we ever had, while at the same time admitting it's completely trackable and traceable, making it less unconfiscatable, right? Like it makes so here they are in the midst of, as this stuff is happening, as it's going down, as we're seeing that Bitcoin is utterly flawed as in terms of working as digital cash. They're just still they're just still holding on. Like, let go, Tone. Bitcoin is, maybe it's good for other things. Maybe it is good just as kind of a number go up thing. I don't know. Embrace the fact that it's completely traceable. Saying that it's the most unconfiscatable asset while also admitting that it's completely traceable, that people know when you're using it and how you're using it, makes absolutely no sense. The fact that they can see where you're sending your Bitcoin, they could see that you donated to some address that's sanctioned and now you're a target. Oh, but don't worry, it's unconfiscatable. They can't come and take away the rest of your Bitcoin. Oh, sure they can. They could show up at your door and they could take it away. And this is why you need to be using things like Monero if you want to use it for that use case of digital cash. So it's just absurd to watch the Bitcoiners in denial. We got to move on.
Yeah,
All
we got to move on. I can't.
I don't understand it.
All right, we'll put on Mr. W.
Mr. W.
Hello. Thank you for waiting.
Yeah, all right. Got 5 minutes. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. So we at TCV have been working under the premise that the 4-year crypto Bitcoin / crypto cycle top happened in April of last year, which you can see here on this weekly chart. And we've been in a bear market ever since. So almost a year of bear market here. And you had a reflex unexpectedly higher in Bitcoin and in the fall of last year. And that kind of threw off all the cycles for all the cryptos, because then typically what happens is after a Bitcoin cycle, Monero and other privacy coins will catch a bid as a lot of those profits are washed, reasonably so. And so we see pops and rallies after these Bitcoin cycles. And so you kind of see it here. You can see it more clearly on these Bitcoin pairs, where on the weekly here, at the beginning of the year, the Bitcoin cycle had topped out. We had funds coming into Monero. And then when the tide went out on the whole space, essentially, when Bitcoin really started breaking down, then we had another low and more consolidation here, which we've had recently. Had a nice little spike up off of this wedge breakout, but for the time being, especially on the BTC pair, I don't see anything imminent that says we're about to go to the moon, even though the fundamentals and the news certainly says that we should be heading in that direction. But this is a classic formation where we have a bottom, a bottom in a key support range, and then we come back in, retest twice. There's a double bottom right here inside of what is another bigger double bottom, which is just, there are tons of signs of accumulation here. And so I think this area is critical and needs to hold. And, if we can do that over the next month or two, while kind of the whole space remains under pressure for numerous reasons, government regulation, interest rates, all these kind of exogenous things, then we're looking at a really good summer and fall as the kind of seeds that are being planted now blossom. But if not, if we get some kind of big crackdown in the EU, or like you guys were talking about, anywhere major, really, in any kind of G7 country on privacy tech or, crypto in general, then you could have a spike, 50% from here. So I'm thinking, if for some reason, again, there's some macro or regulatory event that happens that sends price down, kind of contrary to what the other fundamentals are saying, then the 0.002 level on the BTC pair, and then the $100 level on USD would be the places that I think would be kind of generational type levels to load up on those long-term positions, in case things get really bad. Because at that point, if they start banning stuff, you're like, well, this is the whole point, is that we need technology to keep this from happening. And, the market would realize that fairly quickly after the spike lower. But, you might get a, 40, 50, 60% correction down in both of these pairs if you get some kind of regulatory, news that shocks the market.
Do you think the spike it would be like a quick moment and then a realization that this proves the value proposition of Monero itself, or it's going to be kind of a long process?
No, 100% no. I think that markets are fast these days, and I think it'll be a real fast move. It would be almost like during the financial crisis, not the COVID crisis back in 2007. I'm talking about when it felt like the whole kind of debt Ponzi financial system was collapsing, and everything was going down, including gold, and gold got hammered. But it took like a few days, I think, for gold to bottom and then just start ripping to the upside to new highs. And so I think that's the kind of reaction you would get, is you get this puke down. It would wash out tons of just, maybe less strong hands that have been in the market. But then you would get a wave of people going, oh man, this is exactly what this tech is designed for. Let's get in here at these lows that we haven't seen in years. So that's kind of, that would be my play. If you go all the way back, we haven't seen, levels that would be down in that 0.002 level on BTC since July of 2016. So, I think a lot of people will be watching at that point, and people that have been watching for a long time will say, here's my opportunity to protect myself. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's hard to say when or if that'll ever happen, but I think it's it'd be good to be prepared for that. And if not, we just hold our bags and wait for this kind of dead period to pass, because it will. These markets are so cyclical and somewhat correlated. So once this whole kind of cycle starts going around another Bitcoin halving, unfortunately, that's just the correlation right now, where all this is kind of still tied to Bitcoin. But that'll create a bid in the whole space that should last for another couple of years. But that could be, 6 to 8 months from now. I'm not completely sure. Hopefully sooner than that. And I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff, barring any huge regulatory issues, all the Canada and the government overreach and all that, really is a spark to make the privacy assets in Monero in particular outperform during this next cycle. Because during the last one, they just didn't perform as well because nobody was thinking about this stuff.
Yeah, very, very good points. I mean, you're seeing it all over the place now with the Trucker Convoy, everything that's happening. People are talking about it. They're talking about it on Twitter in ways that I've never seen them talk about it.
100%.
So you're gonna. I can't imagine that doesn't just get reflected in the market at some point. Do you think a lot of Bitcoiners are kind of thinking along these lines and waiting for that opportunity too? They think, all right, there's going to be some moment, and then that's when I'm going to get in.
Yeah. I think there's, and like you said, I think that's a lot of maybe more old school Bitcoin guys who have been around a while and seen Monero work for all these years. After being very skeptical in the beginning and going, oh wow, there is something here, and if I really am scared of getting a knock on the door, then yeah, I think that would be the opportunity. And a lot of the guys that got in, and I feel like the 2013, the kind of 2016 crowd, there were a lot of traders that got in that would see that as a good opportunity just on the chart, regardless of even all the added benefits of the privacy tag.
Yeah. Well, I kind of hope they can't get in because they don't deserve it.
Yeah, I feel your sentiment, but yeah, at this point, let's do it. Let's more the merrier, no matter who you are.
Let's get the price going up now. Don't give them the opportunity. That's what they're waiting for, guys. They want to get that spike down, that moment, and to be like, now we're moving into Monero.
Right, exactly.
So maybe they won't get that moment. Maybe the market will adjust and won't give them that moment. Who knows? Right?
Yeah, I mean this formation right here on the BTC pair, which is the one which is the one I really care about, honestly, looks fantastic. And so if this can hold for another month or two, I'll be hyper bullish, and I'll be y'all have me back on the show, and we'll be able to be a lot more excited. But for now, it's kind of just stay patient and stick to the plan of probably DCA and long-term holds, as long as we're down here.
Yeah. I just see it as buying opportunity.
Yeah, totally.
Hopefully you could conjure up a nice little rally for April 7th. That's when we have our
all right. Yeah, I'm making that.
That'd be nice.
Exactly. For sure. Yeah. I'll see what I can do.
Awesome, man. Thank you for patiently waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, of course. Anything you wanna get out there information wise about yourself or things you're working on or the people you're working for?
No, not necessarily. I mean, the crypto vigilante, they've been around for a long time, and I'm just one of the price guys. They do a lot of fundamental analysis on all these privacy coins, and they dig deep into new coins and new tech all the time, and are releasing reports on that. But we do lots of price updates during the week. Yeah, I mean, especially during these times, there's going to be a lot of special content coming out specifically about the Canada situation. So, if you're interested, just cryptovigilante.io. But yeah, just doing our thing and trying to get people safe, trying to help people protect themselves, because this is getting dangerous. It feels like we're at a tipping point here.
Yeah. Much respect to Crypto Vigilante and a Narco. Were you down at a Narco Poco?
No, I couldn't make it down there, unfortunately.
Yeah, we weren't able to make it either. We were like trying to swing it, but it just wasn't happening. But we love the group down there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Liberty-loving individuals.
There's
a lot of Monero lovers in that ecosystem for sure.
100%, man. You know it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Well, thank y'all so much. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, let me know about next time. Let's pump this thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Take care. All right, we'll move on to our viewer segment. It's
do
the
it.
Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down. Come on down. Anyone?
All right, come on down, guys. Let's get somebody new up here. Come
say
on.
hello.
We got 20 people listening in. Just jump on. Just
It went
click
up
the
a
link.
lot.
Link in
since
the
we
chat.
started.
You'll be on. You can keep your camera off if you want. Camera preferred, so we can see who you are. But we know it's
Wow,
Monero.
people, calm down. Too many of you are coming on stage. Please calm down.
So much to talk about this week, guys. Jump up. So Zaptosis, what do you think, man? What do you think about kind of?
I'm gonna mute you until you talk.
Can you talk?
Hello.
Hi.
We still
Hi.
have you?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what do you think about kind of what we're seeing with Bitcoiners, just kind of, I don't know, being in denial of reality. I mean,
I think we're at the
more obvious.
Because Monero Mateo, he made some content. He said the Bitcoin Cash Bros are waking up to this. They're starting to realize, and they were kind of known for being zealots of Bitcoin Cash, and to see that happen is actually, I think it's bigger than we think.
And then you think we're gonna see more people in the Bitcoin ecosystem?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think it's people are going to start realizing that privacy is essential. Think of HTTP versus HTTPS. I think that's a good comparison.
Yeah, definitely, and it just takes time. People aren't realizing yet, but it is hard to watch the Bitcoiners in denial and just coming up with reasons. I was debating with somebody on Twitter today. It was Diverter and somebody else. I forget who it is. Like this idea that people are saying that ultimately Bitcoin is still fungible. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that one.
Yeah, the mental gymnastics they do. There's one content creator, Matthew. I can't remember his channel, but he's a pro Bitcoin maximalist, and he can make any reason as to why Bitcoin is superior, why it will never fail. And I love his content, but it's kind of too far gone for me.
Yeah. So what is your Monero story? How did you become a Monero? Did you start off as a Bitcoiner or? Yeah,
so I started off as a Bitcoiner. I first got introduced into crypto a long time ago in 2011. I was very young, and I met people on Minecraft factions who were talking about cryptocurrency and like anonymous money, because it was like the hacker space on Minecraft, right? And I started mining Bitcoin on my really old computer. I was 11 years old. I was struggling to find a YouTube tutorial, and I saw it. I was like, it's going to take a month to get 1 Bitcoin. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not waiting a month for 1 Bitcoin. And after a day, I shut it off. So that's how I originally got involved.
Wait, when was that?
2011.
Oh, wow. And you were 11 years old.
I was 11 years old, and I was referred to Bitcoin by some hackers on Minecraft.
Amazing, man.
That's hilarious.
Amazing. And then, so when did you kind of get back into crypto?
I was on and off in it throughout the years. I'd get a crypto wallet and buy some hacks with it, or someone would offer me $3 to do something, right? It was never I was never super into Bitcoin and crypto in general until around 2016, and that's when I started getting more into it. And then I got fully into it in 2019.
And then, so was there a transition there to understanding that Monero is private and fungible, and these other ones aren't, or is that something you kind of knew from day one?
I really never paid much attention to the privacy. It wasn't even so much of a factor for me that Bitcoin was anonymous money. I was just thinking it's internet money. I'd never paid much attention to it, so I wasn't super high on the Bitcoin train. And then I start to slowly become a privacy advocate, just by, I guess, being exposed to the internet. I didn't care. I used Google, Google Chrome, and then I slowly started switching to Firefox, DuckDuckGo, using Signal. So I slowly kind of transitioned into being more privacy focused.
Very cool, man. I see Monero UK saying can't make it on this week, but should be on next week. Yeah, man, please come on. I think I saw Monero UK saying he wants to start a podcast or a YouTube channel, which is awesome. Please feel free to come on and shill that whenever you want, Monero UK. I'm pretty sure I saw you tweeting about that or something. Yeah, anybody else that wants to jump on, please do. Love to have you guys. This guy, I doubt that tainted coins become an issue for most people until tainted coins reach a threshold amount or a perceived threshold amount. Not sure what you mean by that, man. You want to jump on and talk about it? I think the issue is it just shows that, you know, 1 Bitcoin doesn't equal 1 Bitcoin. Zaptosis, anything else you want to bring up? What do you know, I guess a good way to kind of wrap this up, if nobody else is going to jump on, what do you think we can do as a community to kind of be ready for the next, you know, Trucker Convoy event, however it surfaces, whatever it may be some completely different type of movement, but the idea that there's going to be some group that's, you know, some dissidents somewhere that are fighting against an totalitarian government, which I never thought Canada would be, but basically has become. And they're gonna want to use something like Monero without knowing that it exists. What can we do to kind of be more prepared for that and more easily onboard people, make them aware, and getting them using this tool?
I think the best thing we would probably do is day one, just be there and offer to pay them. Say, we will give you money in Monero. It's anonymous money. Give them examples of the Trucker Convoy, but just offer to say, we'll support your movement in Monero. And who's gonna say no to free money, right? And if you can show them that people want to support them through cryptocurrency, and this would be helpful for their movement, that's a good way to just get them to at least look at it, because a lot of them don't even put the time to thinking about it.
All right, good point. Yeah, I wish we made more progress with that this go around, but I think you did a great job of actually going out there and trying to be boots on the ground. That was awesome. Cheers to you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That was great that you did that.
There was one other thing I want to mention up that you mentioned earlier.
Sure.
Okay, so you mentioned the voting accidents and how they don't work because they're transparent. I agree with you there. There are no voting accidents, but I think people are going to get hacked more often. And what I mean by that is, what would a hacker do if they got access to your crypto? First, they'd transfer it to another wallet and then convert it to Monero on a no KYC exchange. So people might not be getting in voting accidents, but there might be a lot of voting thefts in the future. Definitely.
I mean, you know, I think that there's value in Bitcoin in the fact that it is traceable, right? Obviously, it helps with, you know, keeping it adds security potentially, right? So if your coins are stolen, or there are hacks, you can see where the coins are going, but that comes at a great sacrifice, and it no longer becomes digital cash. So I think Bitcoin just needs to own up to the fact that it's not digital cash, that it's something else.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. Yeah. Bitcoin definitely isn't digital cash, but I heard it well. Satoshi solved the problem of decentralization, was Monero is going to be solving the problem of privacy. So I think we need to look at it as Bitcoin was in a different era of the internet.
Definitely. I like that.
I'm thinking.
What's that?
You like drifted off thinking about it.
I am thinking. And I'm reading the comments here. People are debating like the problem is the mere existence of tainted coins. Stolen BTC would still equal tainted, even more so. Yeah. I don't know, guys. People, you know, Bitcoin is obviously here to stay. Monero is just serving a slightly different use case. It does things better in certain ways that Bitcoin can't do. Although I start to think about it long term, and I don't really understand them, like what you really need or to use Bitcoin for, except for, we talk about like, all right, ideally maybe governments are using Bitcoin, right? So like it's this perfectly traceable ledger. We would, love for our governments using Bitcoin, so then we can see what they're doing with the money. But for the people, for individuals, people that want freedom in their lives, want liberty in their lives, I don't really see where Bitcoin is going to play a role there. Only if it just continues to go up in value and it becomes this kind of store of value, and you're sacrificing your liberty by letting everybody know, how much value you have and whenever you use it. But at least it's going up in value. And so I guess that kind of then becomes a philosophical choice of, what type of world you want to live in, and essentially what you value more. So number go up, sure, that gives you certain liberties and freedoms. But are you really truly free when everything can be perfectly tracked and traced, and governments can come knock on your door and confiscate your Bitcoin, or corporations can see how you're using it? So it may feel like you're obtaining liberty and freedom as the number goes up, but are you really achieving it? Zaptosis, any comment there?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's perceived value versus actual value.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, man. Appreciate you taking the time, jumping on.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, nobody else from the audience wants to come on today. They're in the chat, but nobody really wants to show their face. This is a problem we often have in the Monero community.
But it is the community.
I'm sure you could appreciate that, Zaptosis. Do you pretty much stay anonymous?
I try to kind of keep a low profile. I've doxed myself multiple times before, so I'm not too concerned on it. But I try and not be fully out in the open.
Cool, man. Well, if you're gonna be in the Miami area in April, come by the conference. We'd love to have you.
Okay, I'm in Canada, so I don't know if I can cross the border, but if some miracle happens, I'll definitely come.
I figured it'd be difficult.
That
anybody else that's out there listening right now, obviously go to Monerotopia, grab your tickets. Like we said, conference is looking amazing in terms of content. Now all we need is a big audience, big crowd.
So please make it down to Miami.
Come on down.
Your tickets yet.
Yeah.
I appreciate the love. Glitch or whatever your name is. Love Monero and love this talk show. Please keep it going. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Feel the love.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for joining us. As always, we'll see you
next week. Yep.
Saturday
at 11.
Saturday at 11. Put it in your calendar.
We'll see you next week.
We always start a little late, 11:01.
Yeah. Yeah. So please bear with us. Yes, please.
All right. Zaptosis, thanks again, man. Greatly appreciate everything you did. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
thank you as well.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye, guys. See you next week. Adios.
Ciao.